Alright, that introduction was a bit random. I mean, I've had that saved away for so long. I recorded that like when Battlefield was released. Alright guys, so the spring update has just been released and the game has changed. EA and DICE have responded to so many complaints about the imbalance between planes and ground forces. And they've addressed that in the spring update, and man has it changed. Let's talk about exactly what's changed when it comes to planes. And man, you will see how DICE have targeted planes in this release. And there's also coming up a change that I want to talk about with you, which I just don't understand. And I would love for one of you guys to help me out in the comments and just tell me what the hell it means. So one of many things they've done is they've increased the power of the AA gun versus planes. Check this out. I mean, I can't really tell the difference. What do you guys think? Can you tell a difference there? Have you felt in the game that the AA has been buffed? So why don't we check out the numbers? So we can see we got a increase against all the different types of planes, but you can see they've significantly increased further versus the fighters. It's almost like they realized there's been a problem with the state of the game where everyone is crushing with trench fighters. And they've made another change as well. They've also increased the blast radius by 50%. That's a huge change. So that blast radius is when it's triggered by the vehicle it detonates next to. But man, that's a huge difference. What that means is it's going to be much easier to hit targets with the AA gun now. Have you been getting pissed off that you can't do anything about the slaughter coming in from the skies? Well, DICE have helped you out with a sniper buff versus all the different types of planes. It is a 20% damage increase, and you can use any sniper rifle. It is 20% more powerful against planes, and that is a huge change, guys. As you all know, I love my bomber gameplay, and one of the things that I always seem to get when I'm flying the bomber is the sheer amount of sniper fire that comes my way. And this is really going to change things now. Of all the changes that I'm seeing in this release, it is the sniper buff that I'm most scared of, because that is going to make my bomber gameplay, my bomber kill streaks, so much harder. So apparently we've been playing with an incorrectly set low damage of rockets with the bomber killer loadouts in the fighter plane. Apparently the damage was lower than EA and DICE intended, so what they've gone and done is corrected it and effectively buffed the bomber killer rockets when attacking other planes in the sky. So the message here really is, if you're going to be in the skies, pick on someone your own size and stop raping the ground and just keep the fight in the skies. That's the message. I don't know about you guys, but I love the bomber killer. I already loved the bomber killer before this buff, before this spring update. And this is just even more reason for me to go and choose the bomber killer loadout when choosing my loadout. So if you guys like using the trench fighter, you're not going to like this change, because man, they have seriously nerfed the trench fighter. More specifically, the darts that you can release. Man, they've nerfed the hell out of those darts. They have made it significantly harder to kill targets on the ground with the darts. So let's take a look at the numbers. The reload time, so I always had trouble with this with the trench fighter. I always seemed to turn around, try and come in for another attack strafing run, and my darts wouldn't be reloaded yet. So I already had that problem, and they've gone and increased the reload time. So now that's much more of a problem, at least it will be for me. And the other two changes here on the list is quite a huge difference. I mean, 70% damage doesn't sound like much, but that is a lot, and especially when combined with that blast radius reduction by 50%. That's huge. Do you guys remember when I was able to run 161-1 score with the trench fighter? Well, if you haven't seen that, the link will be in the description. But guys, gone are the days when you can do that. There is no way, well, in my opinion, there's no way you're going to be able to run that kind of score anymore with these changes. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. If any of you managed to do this, I'll be impressed. Now, there was another nerf to the rank and darts on the trench fighter, and to be honest, I don't know what this means. Direct damage no longer hurts soldiers. Well, if it's direct damage and it doesn't hurt the soldier, that doesn't make any sense to me. Surely, if you hit them on target, that's exactly the way you're supposed to kill these men. I don't know what this means. All I know is they've nerfed even more. That's the message I'm getting there. They've nerfed the ranking darts even more. Guys, before we move on to the last changes, which I just don't understand and really need your help with. So they've also made a couple of changes to the number of planes you get per team in 2 of the Conquest maps. So they've reduced the number of planes on the Rupture map from 3 planes to 2 planes per team. And they've also reduced the number of planes on the Soissons map from 2 to 1 per team. And this only affects Conquest. And finally, here's some changes which I just don't understand. First up is fixed bad behavior on crashing planes by disabling rotor critical state when landing gear is deployed. Okay, there's so many things I don't understand here. First up, I didn't even know you could retract your landing gear, let alone deploy the landing gear. What am I missing here? Is there an aspect of flying in Battlefield 1 that I'm missing out on with the whole landing gear aspect? Guys, help me out. What am I missing here? And what the hell, guys, is this bad behavior that some of you are doing? It looks like some of you guys being cheeky, doing some sort of exploit, and I don't understand any bit of this statement. Please help me out. Guys, surely one of you have heard what the hell's going on here. Let me know in the comments. And there is one last change, and that is that the impact impulse from plane MGs has been removed. Okay, what the hell is impact impulse? And plane MGs, is that the primary weapon for the pilot? Or is that the backseat gunner weapon? I don't know. I really need some help from you guys on this one. What is this change? Please let me know, guys. Alright, so if you want to find out more about the spring update, you can go to their official website. I will put the link in the description. They've got their release notes, and you can search through the release notes to find every change. If you haven't heard already, there is actually the main change on their release notes, which is about platoons. I mean, I've done a lot of coverage in this video about plane gameplay specifically, but they are promoting their new feature called platoons, and if you go to the main menu within Battlefield 1, you'll see a little platoons icon here in the menu on the left, and you can click that and you can search for a platoon or you can create your own. And what I've done here is I've just created a platoon here for any of you guys to join just to see what happens. There are some cool features when you're a member of platoons. You can sort of join, work together, and when you take over flags, there's some cool stuff happens, like your platoon emblem will show up with the flag, and some other cool stuff does happen. So yeah, feel free to join this platoon. I'm going to leave the access type to open just to see what happens, and hopefully we'll meet each other on the battlefield as a result. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Peace.
Düşman atlısı var şurada. Düşman makine ve tüfeği görüldü. Düşman makine ve tüfeği. O tarafta. Aha, onlara bir bomba.
Return to the combat area.